In the past several years, we've taken a look at quite a few different camping and backpacking stoves here on the channel. Well, in this video, we're going to take a look at what is probably the most iconic, classic backpacking stove ever invented, the MSR PocketRocket. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name's Brian. Thanks for joining me. So the folks at MSR were kind enough to send me one of their PocketRocket 2, which is a slightly improved version of probably the most classic backpacking stove that I'm aware of. This is probably, a PocketRocket was probably the first backpacking stove that I ever knew about as a Boy Scout and as a Scout leader. And if you take a quick look at this, you can just see the quality of construction that's gone into this thing. It is not some cheesy, cheesy thrown together piece of gear. This is a very high quality stove, very high quality piece of gear. Simple in its functionality, but very, very well made. We're going to take a look at the specs of this thing, do a little boil test on it, coming up right after this word from one of our sponsors. Today's video is brought to you by my friends at North Point Axe, where they still make axes, knives, and all sorts of blades the old-fashioned way, one at a time. Adam at North Point Axe forges his tools in the great state of Maine in the northeast corner of the USA, which I think is pretty cool. And like I said, he has a wide variety of stuff. This is the Francisca throwing axe, which was modeled after, I believe, a battle implement from the Middle Ages in Europe. But he has everything from standard woodland axes to chopping axes to camp hatchets to knives to swords to spears. You name it, Adam forges it. And his prices are really, really good. And on top of that, he's offered a 10% discount to you because you're watching this channel. Just use the coupon code SOP10, all caps, and you get a 10% discount on any purchase from North Point Axe. So I'll put a link in the description below and one right up here. Be sure and check it out because I think you're going to like what you see. But you know, we can't show you this without checking the balance, right? Okay, so here, what I thought we'd do is go ahead and start out with this thing in its packed up form. So it comes with this nice little plastic case that you can store it in, and you can see it fits right down in there very nicely. So the case weighs about an ounce, which brings the total weight with the case to 3.7 ounces. But if you don't want to put it in the pack, you can get it to 2.6 ounces. So you can lose an ounce right here, which is pretty cool. But you can see how small it gets. It's about 3 inches by just over almost 1.5 inches or so in diameter. And the way it works is you just pop out your adjustment valve here, and then it's got these cool little double hinged arms on it, and you just swing them up like so, and then that folds over like so. And so what you wind up with, it's got a little bit larger area here to support a little bigger pan. It's got kind of a little wind screen thing around here. You can see that little groove there, and there's your burner, and then this just screws onto your standard isopro canister. Now they recommend, of course, using MSR fuel, but I have found these things will work with any isobutane type fuel. But you screw it on there like that, and then this is the just the absolute straight up simplest, most compact stove that I'm aware of. And you light it with a lighter, and there you go. It's got a nice little burner. It's the PocketRocket, as they say, and that's why they call it that. So what I thought we'd do is just go ahead and see how long it takes this thing to boil a liter of water. Okay, so we're not going to boil a liter of water because I don't think my pot will hold a liter. But what I thought we'd do is we'll boil 16 ounces of water, which is a pretty good amount. So there's 16 ounces, which is, if you can see, that's 2 cups of water, which is enough pretty much to make a mountain house or some other freeze-dried meal. It's a pretty good bit of water, actually. So we'll put that there. And actually I thought we would use this wider pot here. I wanted to try to use a wider one to show you how stable the thing is with a wide pot on it. Light it up. And set it on there. And also, if you'll notice, it gets down pretty low for a simmer too, which is kind of, that's a really important thing to have because you don't want to always have it wide open. But this time we're going to put it wide open. We're going to set the timer and see how long it takes us. You can sort of hear why they call this one a PocketRocket. Okay, so it's been just about 1 minute and 15 seconds. You can see it steaming there, and it is, by golly, it steamed up my camera lens, so we have a rolling boil there, as you can see. So I'm gonna turn it down. Not bad at all. So I like the fact that it's big enough to support this pot. This is what, a 6-7 inch pot or something. Very, very well. Just did a great job. And you know, this is on the smallest canister. If you put it on a bigger canister, it's going to have a bigger base. So there you go. Okay, well, I got to say I'm pretty impressed with the performance of this PocketRocket 2. Again, 16 ounces of water, which is, I think, about what they recommend for a standard mountain house type backpacking meal. And it got this thing, it get boiling to a rolling boil in about less than a minute and a half, which I think is extremely good. And again, you don't have to run it wide open if you're using a smaller cup or whatever. So your mileage may vary depending upon altitude and temperature and everything else. But altogether, I'll say that did a really good job, and it is really compact. And what I like about it is that this is absolutely a tried and true design. I don't know how long MSR has been making this, but this is probably one of the first, the PocketRocket original is one of the first backpacking stoves I was ever even aware of. And all they've done is just take the original and make a couple of tweaks to it to make it even better. So if you're looking for a really compact, very lightweight, extremely competent and functional backpacking stove, man, you cannot go wrong with this MSR PocketRocket. I'm telling you, this is a I've known a lot of people that had these. I've seen them that were years and years and years and years old, and they're just very well made, and they just get the job done. No frills, just absolutely. If you need a stove, this is a good one. So not only I think is this going to be good for backpacking, but this is something to be really good for a bug out bag, or for a you know, your emergency kit. Just a couple of these canisters, and you can boil some water. Even if you're not cooking, you can boil water to purify it, which is always a good thing to do. I like the canister stoves myself because they're just so easy to use and so convenient. So I hope this has been helpful. Once again, thanks to the folks at MSR for sending me this so I can show it to you. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. I put out a new video every Friday and Saturday, sometimes random videos throughout the week. If you're not subscribed, you can click down in the corner and take care of that. Be sure and check out the list of sponsors in the channel description. Many of them have discounts, and all of them are companies I know and trust. I really appreciate your support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. I'll see you next time.